Top 10 takeaways from day 2 of the NFL draft. Podfather coming at you from Tampa, not Green Bay. It's Tampa Bay. And I have 10 rapid fire takeaways from round 2, round 3 of the NFL draft. Off we go. This is going to be fast. It's going to be furious. The tight end position has never been this brutalized for fantasy football by the NFL. We had top talent, move tight end talent. Guy was an incredible receiver in Colson Loveland go to one of the stone worst possible situations. Same was true with Tyler Warren. One goes to a place that has way too much target competition in Chicago, and then Warren goes to a place with no quarterback and lots of target competition in Indianapolis as well. So you hate it for both of these guys, which means there's an opening for a tight end in this class that is also a great receiver, and that guy, his name is Arroyo. That's right. So I believe Elijah Arroyo Arroyo. I think Arroyo. He said it's not Arroyo. I think it's Arroyo. So I think Elijah Arroyo, the tight end one, and this would be the one guy I'd be targeting in Dynasty rookie drafts. You don't need to draft Loveland in Dynasty. You don't need to draft Warren in Dynasty. You can just let them flame out, let them sort of squander their rookie year because it's not their fault, right? But it's just it's hard for tight ends to produce as rookies to start. And when you put them behind other quality tight ends like Cole Kmet, or you put them in situations where they don't have a quarterback, like in Indianapolis, the idea that they're going to produce at a level that is equivalent to the draft capital is, especially in Dynasty, it's just not reasonable to do that. So Arroyo would be the guy to target because he can produce in year one. He's actually in a great situation going to Seattle, a rookie tight end. They have Jackson Smith-Njigba, Dusty Cooper Kupp. They didn't add a receiver. So if he's the receiver that Seattle added, he's a guy you should be targeting in fantasy football. So I think he'll be the top producer for all the rookies this year at the tight end position. Elijah Arroyo. At quarterback, Tyler Shough goes to the New Orleans Saints. He's a good player. Like, he's just a good player. He was underrated throughout the process because he's 75 years old. I get it. But the New Orleans Saints did a clever thing in bringing this guy on. He's going to get a lot of snaps. He's going to play a lot of games, if not the whole season. He immediately becomes an incredible value, especially for those that drafted in Origins. Origins Chaos 1 was happening before Tyler Shough was drafted. And he's going, fourth round in Origins Chaos 1. And now Origins Chaos 2 is live. It's happening right now. So as players are being drafted, people are drafting live on Fast Draft. Code is Podfather for a $50 deposit match. And Tyler Shough, now a second round pick. And you could argue could be a late first. You could justify late first round on Origins, which is whatever happens this year is what it is. It's essentially a seasonal rookie draft best ball platform. And everyone that drafted Shough up to this point is very happy because he's going to get a lot of starts with Chris Olave and not the worst weapons. So that's kind of cool. And the other, I gotta say, and we have some bacon being cooked in the background. No big deal. Tyler Shough is not going to sizzle like this bacon. Okay, that's not going to happen. Okay, but he is going to be just good enough that the Saints lose most of their games, and they end up getting a top pick in what is going to be one of the better quarterback classes we've seen next year. So I think that the Tyler Shough pick, because he's Davis Mills level replacement, a replacement level rookie, right, is not a real replacement level talent. It's basically like the bare minimum that you would get from a rookie is exactly, if you're going to, I can get the bare minimum, which is a reasonable production and performance from a rookie in year one, if that doesn't guarantee you the first pick next year, I don't know what does. So I think that was a savvy move by the Saints to go get Tyler Shough, and he was a super savvy pick, especially in the Origins game. But in all rookie drafts, Dynasty and everything else, where there were super flex or no positional scoring advantage, then man, you wanted to draft Tyler Shough. That was the value of all values. That's where there's been the most accrued value in the last 3 rounds of the NFL draft is Tyler Shough in these super flex drafts. TreVeyon Henderson versus Judkins, big debate. I think I would go TreVeyon Henderson in Dynasty, but I do understand why Judkins is going to outproduce him in seasonal leagues. There's just more touches that are going to be projected for Judkins this year. Too many to then have him, fall behind TreVeyon Henderson in fantasy points this year. But in the long run, a guy like TreVeyon Henderson is going to be in the league longer. You see Alvin Kamara is still in the league, still producing. So a guy like TreVeyon Henderson is going to have big 25 fantasy points per game seasons in his range of outcomes in the future. So for that reason, also being tethered to Drake May, I prefer TreVeyon in Dynasty, prefer Judkins in seasonal leagues. Kaleb Johnson is going to be the RB2 overall this year among the rookies. I think it's a clear path in Pittsburgh for him to be the ultimate bell cow. Tyler Warren is not going to be much of a factor except, third down, just a straight up third down back. Whatever you thought Kenneth Gainwell was going to do this year, given the current depth chart, that is now what Tyler Warren's going to be. And it's going to be Kaleb Johnson getting all the touches. So I think penciling him in as the RB2, even though he was a round 3 pick, it wasn't a first rounder, wasn't a second rounder. You look at the situation, you look at the skill set, you look at the player. He is an explosive between the tackles player. One of these, you get him on the stretch zone plays, and it's hard to find a better running back in this class than Kaleb Johnson. And then again, he gets the nuts situation. It's funny because I thought, hey, how is it possible for Kaleb Johnson to go to Pittsburgh? Because that's the perfect fit, but they don't have a second round pick. I guess they can't get Kaleb Johnson. Oh, wait, anything can happen in the NFL draft, including Shedeur Sanders falling out of the first 3 rounds, out of the top 100 picks. Pretty amazing. And we talked about this, the Iowa State receivers landing on the same team. That actually happened. Now, I was hoping it would be New England. They didn't land on the same team together that I wanted, but Houston's pretty good. Houston's a pretty good situation. So you got to love CJ Stroud now has Arante Ursary, the 330-pound tackle, to replace Laramie Tunsil. And they bring in Higgins, and they bring in Noel, and they bring in Kirk to replace Diggs and Tank Dell. And this is a huge upgrade for CJ Stroud. So I think big bounce back year for CJ Stroud. And then it's just going to be interesting and fascinating to watch camp play out. And Noel versus Higgins, Higgins versus Noel. Who is going to be the third receiver? Who's going to win the 11 personnel role? Who's going to get more snaps? Will it be Noel? Will it be Higgins? Tough call. I think Noel's a little bit better skill match for that Z position, but we're going to see how camp shakes out there. Teslaa, the Teslaa coil, Isaac Teslaa, and we should pull him up on the screen. I mean, this guy, wow. Incredible. We're talking about 97th percentile speed score for Isaac Teslaa. This guy goes to the Lions. Yeah. You got to love it. It's just like, it doesn't much matter. They don't need a possession receiver. They don't need this guy to get open on every play. They just need this guy to create separation and be available for a screenplay and to break a tackle. And because he's 6'4", 215, he can do that part of the game. So the Z position has a lot of versatility. There's you want to catch bubble screens, make people miss, but also separate down the field. Well, that's what Isaac Teslaa, that's what he can do, and do it better than J-Mo. So this is a bad news for JMO. I think there were whispers that they'd be moving on from Jameson Williams anyway, but this is going to expedite that. And then now in Dynasty, I think the Jameson Williams his stock is now going to be officially in free fall. And Teslaa's very interesting. I wouldn't draft him in Dynasty rookie drafts. I don't think there's much of a path for targets in year one. So for that reason, there's no reason to draft him. You can always trade for him if you like what you see. But bad news for JMO, first and foremost. Great news for Tre Harris going to the Chargers. That's the wet dream. He blows by Luther Burden. So now you got to actually rank Harris ahead of Burden now in all rookie drafts. Burden had the worst possible landing spot, goes to the Bears where there's just target competition on top of target competition. Maybe they trade DJ Moore. The hope is they trade DJ Moore. Otherwise, he's going to be completely buried in year one. Again, no reason to draft a guy in Dynasty just to stash him when you can trade for him 6 months from now, a year from now, if you like how the situation is shaping up. Don't overpay now. Let Luther Burden fall. So it'll be interesting to see how far Luther Burden falls in all these Dynasty rookie drafts that are kicking off within hours. So it'll be fun to see. And how high does Tre Harris go? Tre Harris is going to be a first-round pick in Dynasty rookie drafts now that he's on the Chargers. McConkey, Harris at X, McConkey at Z. Perfect skill, wide receiver skill configuration in that offense. I mean, Tre Harris, man. I mean, when a good player is appreciated by a good coach, it's fun. It's good to see. You love it, and he deserves it. He deserves to go to a great offense with a good quarterback. And it's how many rookie wide receivers in 2025 would you rather have than Tre Harris? I mean, a couple, not many. Very interesting. I'm just super happy for him. And a guy that you could now reasonably target him at the end of the first round in a Dynasty rookie draft and not feel bad about it. Certainly would rather have him than any of these tight ends. And you couldn't say that a few days ago. Terrance Ferguson's a tight end. He's interesting. He's the one guy, the one other tight end other than Arroyo that I'm interested in. I think Terrance Ferguson, he's athletic. The Rams just have those two receivers on the outside. They have they're looking for someone to step up to be a third receiving option. So I like him. Jack Bech to the Raiders. Fascinating pick. We get Jack Bech to the Raiders. All that matters is that he's better than Trey Tucker. And, it would be nice if we had a receiver that we like a little bit more than Jack Bech go to the Raiders. But it's good. It's all good, man. Hey, Genty's going to be first in line for touches. And then with targets, it's going to be Bowers. And then it's going to be Genty. And then it's going to be Myers. And then it's going to be Bech. And that's exactly where you want Jack Bech. The fourth option in an offense. That's perfectly fine, perfectly reasonable. So those are my top 10 takes from round 2, round 3. Getting ready to go live here with the boys for the round 4, 5, 6, 7. NFL draft. What a weekend. Hey, I want to thank you for being part of this broadcast. If you have any thoughts on it, leave a comment. If you enjoyed it, make sure you leave a like. And if you want to see more shows on the Player Profiler channel, subscribe to it. That's how we know you want more.